All right, well, talk about taking your sweet time, Mr. President. This long to say so much as a simple congratulations, really? Come on, are you that childish? Leave that behavior from me. Benjamin Netanyahu wins in Israel, and you make him stew for days waiting for a kind word from you? So much for bygones being bygones. Incredible. But not half as incredible as talk that you're really going to stick it to him and Israel at the United Nations. For the very first time, abstaining from votes that criticize Israeli actions. That would be a first, because that has never happened. We have always been in Israel's corner whenever Israel's been cornered. But now, Mr. President, you're so ticked off, you want to join in the pylon? Come on. Just as you're taking Iran and Hezbollah off a global terror threat list? Bad timing, bad form, bad period. So you and Bibi don't see eye to eye. You trust Iran, he doesn't. You're open to negotiating with guys who'd sooner slit our throats. He's only open to not giving them that chance. You're still miffed he spoke to Congress. Did you ever think how he feels when you refused to speak to him at all when he was here? I noticed he had time to speak to Chuck and Camilla or whatever. Anyway, so your guy didn't win. Are you that vindictive that you would trash a decades-long friendship so you could screw him to the wall? Off the charts. But that's spiel. To a former U.S. Army helicopter pilot who said, you know, it's got to stop, because Iraq War vet Amber Smith says the president insults all Americans as well with this kind of childish behavior. Amber, good to get you back. That's what really galls me. Whether you agree or disagree with whatever the tiff was, I think freedom trumps whatever little problems you have, you know?
It does. It's pettiness. It's getting politics involved where it shouldn't be. These are two leaders in a free world that are allies. We've worked together for decades. And look, it needs to say, hey, be the bigger person. I'm the leader of the United States. I look forward to working with you in the future and improving U.S.-Israeli relations. He doesn't do that.
I can't tell you the number of times he just takes, not only the digs at Fox, but it always kills me because he'll say, you know, I don't watch Fox. Oh, yes, you do, Mr. President. But he'll then do some zingers. And I always say, let news organizations, let us be childish. People come to expect that. They don't expect it out of a president, Republican or Democrat. And yet incidents like this with a leader of a sovereign state come to mind and remind me, wait a minute, it does happen.
It does happen, and it's just a form of weak leadership. When you can't put something aside that is best for the nation, he needs to remember that Israel acts and makes decisions because its very existence is at risk every single day. They are facing threats from Iran and other threats inside the Middle East. So when President Obama gets tunnel vision for this Iran nuclear deal and sort of stonewalls or warns anyone who disagrees with him, including Congress, including Netanyahu, it's ridiculous, and it really is him trying to micromanage the situation and really being unhappy with the results that he's seen out of Netanyahu and not being able to control him.
But what message do you think this is sending Israel, or for that matter, our enemies in the Middle East, or those who'd like to make Israel toast in the Middle East? I would imagine it emboldens them, doesn't it?
Well, I think it does. I think it makes our allies nervous as well. I think when President Obama is so willing to sort of turn his back on one of our greatest allies in the Middle East that we've had for decades, we've always stood with Israel, and when something so petty, just some mere political disagreements, that he's willing to look the other way when this nation needs us the most, I think it makes our allies say, hey, are we next? If we do something that President Obama doesn't agree with to a T, are we going to be next in terms of them not supporting us?
That's a good point. I always think that when someone says something bad about someone, and I always think, what are they saying about me? Or when are they going to turn on me? You know? Amber, Thank you very, very much. Very good insight.
Thanks, Neil.
Meanwhile,